guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tia, and I am back with another reading wrap up. How is it November already? Like, October literally went like that. I feel like Fringe is not playing ball today, by the way, guys, but I feel like November just literally went like so quick. And not November, October even. We're in November now. My gosh, guys, I literally cannot keep up with the months. It's literally going to be Christmas so soon. I feel like we had a good reading month. But yeah, I feel like we had a good reading month. Like, I remember having quite a few 5 stars. I am in the middle of 2 books at the moment. So I've got audiobook going and then an ARC book, and I am loving both of them. But let's just jump straight in, guys. No dilly-dallying today. Let's get in with the reading wrap up. So the first book I did actually was the only book on my TBR that I read. Yeah, like on my October TBR, sorry. And it did not disappoint. It was a 5 stars. I was obsessed. This is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I actually did the audiobook at the same time, so I bought this on Audible. There is a mosquito coming around. Anyway, yeah, I bought this on Audible to do at the same time because Teddy Hamilton is the lead, and I love Teddy Hamilton. Like, Corvin King and Teddy Hamilton are my top male narrators, and they just hit every time. Like, they do not miss. Like, you just cannot go wrong with Teddy Hamilton. It's also a full voice cast as well, just touching on the audiobook. So we have obviously like the FMC, and then you have a lot of side characters who are voiced by different people. The stepbrother is a Scottishman, and I love me a Scottishman. Don't like the stepbrother, but I love a Scottishman. Obviously we get to meet Tobias. Yeah, if you know, you know. Tobias is Cade Mitchell's dad, so this is Cade and Stacey's story, the Edge of Darkness trilogy. So there's 3 books in their story. I believe there is like a little spin-off thing, but it's not, it's in the same world, but it's Little Liar and Little Stranger, but it's different characters. And then we have a novella from this, which is Tobias' story in Psychotic Obsession. So the story itself follows Cade and Stacey, and Cade is Stacey's best friend's brother. Love me this trope. We keep going back in time and also to present tense as well. So in present time, Cade and Stacey are broken up. They hate each other. Well, he hates her. You don't really understand why. Like, as the story goes on, you get more and more of their story, and it's very much a story filled with heartbreak and love and obsession and all of the things mixed together. And I cannot wait to continue the story. It does end on like cliffhanger, so I am hoping the final book ends on a happy ever after, because I love these 2 characters with all my heart already. And be prepared going into this, it's not a light story. Then we had The Lost Kings by Ashley Munoz. This was actually an ARC that I bought the trophy for. I'm actually reading the 2nd book on ARC at the moment, and I loved this so much, guys. This was also a 5 star, hence why I bought the trophy. So this follows Presley, who is our FMC, and 2 twin brothers, King and Geo. Kingston, who is King, and Geo both have grown up with Presley. Again, this is another one that it goes back to flashbacks and also present tense as well. So we're sort of getting 2 stories at the same time, and obviously the flashbacks are telling us what is going on. But essentially the 3 of them have grown up together. There's about a 1.5 year difference between Presley and the 2 twins who are older, and it's like a sort of like a mafia romance almost, but also like kind of not, if that makes sense. It's, as it unravels, like, you do understand sort of like what's going on. But Presley is basically being trained by her uncle to be a weapon of sorts. She's growing really strong, fighting, getting all her strength up, and the 2 twins have always loved her basically, and she's always loved them, but nothing's happened between them. And this is a story of heartbreak, very much heartbreak. This ends awfully, just to warn you. But obviously it's a duet, so the next book that I'm reading, I'm about 65% through, is a continuation. And when it gets spicy, the spicy scenes are excellent as well, guys, just to say. But it is full of heartbreak, healing, love, and it's just wonderful. You've got, it's almost like a why choose, but also the 2 twins are sort of like competing almost. Like, It really does make sense as you go on, but I am obsessed. Then we had The Homemaker by Jewel E. Ann. This again was a 5-star, guys, hence why I bought the trophy. This was another arc actually, and I went into this not really knowing anything, a little bit blind and with no expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised. This book gave me all the feels. So this follows Murphy and Alice, and this again 3 books in a row where you get sort of like flashbacks and stuff, so it's so strange. But basically Alice is hired to be a homemaker for this not older couple, but like middle-aged couple, and basically she does like the cleaning and everything like that. And then the couple's daughter comes back with her fiance. Turns out like 8 years ago, Murphy, the fiance, and Alice had a little bit of a thing, and things ended very abruptly, and Murphy was left very confused. Alice didn't really know what had happened as well, but you find out as you go on why that is, what actually happened leading up to that. And this was so funny, guys. I was literally giggling on my feet at this, and I cannot recommend this enough. I was literally on the edge of my seat, but it's such an easy read and you just want to know what happens next. It's very much a second chance romance as well, and I loved this. Then we had Ravage by Steph Macker, which is the 3rd book in the Dance with My Demons series. This one I've been Kindle reading whilst doing on audiobook, so I'm actually doing the 4th one on the audiobook now because I had to wait for it to come out. And babes, let me tell you, Corvin King strikes again. He does not miss. This is a why choose. I've spoken about the first 2 books, so I won't dive into too much what it is because obviously it is a continuation series. It's not interconnected. You do have to read them in order. But it is a why choose secret society in a prison asylum type thing, and it is so good. It does end on a cliffhanger, and probably the worst cliffhanger of the series in my opinion. I read this along, my friend Jess was reading it as well, and she was literally sobbing and she was like, you are not ready. But it is amazing. This was 5 stars actually, guys. It was so good, and I feel like you do really have to do the audiobook to get the full experience from this series. I said in my wrap up before, but book 1 probably would have been a lower star had I just read it, because I wasn't really sure what was going on. And although it's like a why choose, it's very good, but the voices are what make the story, because you've got each of their voices and it is just delicious. I then tried to do Till Forever Begins by Donna Richards. This was an arc, and I actually DNF'd at 58%, unfortunately. So we have our FMC and our MMC, who are actually stepbrother and stepsister, and they haven't seen each other in years, until she moves and ends up working for the stepbrother. And it's very clear that she loved him, he loved her, but neither knew, I suppose, what each other felt. Like, classic. But there's also a lot of like danger there, so I think he's in some sort of gang. She used to date a different gang member and he's trying to protect her. I was really bored though, guys. Honestly, I couldn't get into it. I was 58% in. I was not connected to the characters at all halfway, and I just wasn't having a good time, so I just had to put it down, unfortunately. Then I did Her Dirty Best Friend by Adele Knight. So this one I actually got an audio arc, and it was Teddy Hamilton. Guys, Teddy Hamilton just makes audios so much better. Like, it had banter, chemistry, yearning, a naughty professor, and the spice was top tier, guys. This is a little novella, so our FMC and our MMC, who Teddy Hamilton voices, basically she writes spicy novels, and she writes them based off of her best friend's experiences. So he details them to her. He is bisexual, I think, or I'm not sure if he identifies as bisexual, but he has sexual encounters with both men and women, and he explains them to his best friend, the FMC, and she writes her stories based on this. And then one night she's like, I can't, like, she loves him, she is obsessed with him, and she's like, I can't really do this anymore, like, I'm just so jealous. Like, not jealous, but like, she wants to be in the scenario. And then she's like, oh, I think I'm not going to be a spy to you right anymore. And he's like, no, you need to, like, this is literally your calling, like, you're so good at this. And then he calls her one night and he's basically having an encounter, and he video calls her and shows her what he's doing. And then after that, it just sort of like goes from 0 to 100. She goes into a new class and she's like, I'm going to seduce the professor. Like, I want these experiences myself. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he sort of helps her, spreads her legs in class. She's front seat. And the professor looks down and he's like, the professor wants you. And she's like, shit. And then it all untangles from there, guys. It's just like a little spicy novella, and it is just chef's kiss. And then we had Cowboy Casual by Holly Renee. Guys, this was 5-star. This is one of the best cowboy romances, like on par with Chestnut Springs, in my opinion. New book boyfriend unlocked, Mr. Calloway. Colt Calloway is perfection. If you love a possessive single dad cowboy, he's literally for you. Save a horse, ride a cowboy and all that. Second chance is not usually one of my most loved tropes, but Holly Renee did this so well. The yearning in this, the chemistry, literally, oh, the spice scenes, guys. So our FMC Blair has moved away and she is engaged, finds out her fiance has been cheating on her, decides to move home to the ranch where her ex-boyfriend Colt is there. And he basically 10 years before I think, basically sent her away. He was like, no, you have to go live your life, I don't want to be with you anymore. Thought he was doing her a favour, and she's sort of never gotten over it. He's never gotten over her, and it is just so good, guys. Like, the yearning in this man, the possessiveness of this man. If you love a cowboy romance, this is definitely one that you need to read. We then had All This Time by Harlow James, which was another arc. I was trying to get through arcs this month, guys. It was a bit of a theme. This was 3.5 stars. I actually got the audio arc on this as well, and again, Teddy Hamilton is just in my brain this month, but he was the male main character. He did make me laugh at one point because there was like, not best friend, but like the gay best friend, and he had to voice that, and it was quite funny the way that he was doing it. He was doing it very like stereotypical, and it just sounded really odd. This was like a very cozy, cute second chance romance. So Fletcher and Lainey comes back together 12 years after their friendship has ended, after a miscommunication. She hates him, he has no idea why, and he's just trying to help her in any way that he can, and she despises him for it. Although the characters didn't really sweep me off my feet, they were actually really easy to root for, and obviously Teddy Hamilton made this 10 times better. We then end in with the book As Real by Amber v. Nicole. So I actually got the Wrath of the Fallen on arc, but I hadn't on Let Galley, but I hadn't read the first 3 yet, so I thought I had to start making my way through this. Spoiler alert, I haven't read the last one yet, guys. I've not even read the third one, but you know, I've got so much to be on, I need to get through it, and these are hefty bits. Like the second one is even bigger. But anyway, the Book of Asriel, this is a fantasy series. The Gods and Monsters series is what it's called, and I loved this, guys. This was 5-star. It's very rare that I prefer the FMC to the MMC. I love Sam Kiel, the MMC anyway, but Diana, the FMC, was just perfection. She is so funny. Like, she has the looks, she's got the banter, she's so confident, she's powerful. But I did feel really numb after the ending of this, guys. Obviously I won't ruin that for you, but this follows Sam Kiel, who is a god, and Diana, who is a monster. So she's like a creature, and they're both teams are trying to find the Book of Asriel, and it comes to a point where they have to work together, and they despise each other. So she hates everything he is, he hates everything she is, and it just unravels from there, and it is just perfection. Like, the banter between these two is literally so fucking funny, guys. Like, if you want a morally great FMC, this is literally where you need to go. Then we did another arc. So this is Almost Rotten by Abby Millsaps. I am actually gonna buy the trophy for this, but it literally only just came out like yesterday, I think, of filming this, and 5 stars. I just knew that book 2 was going to be as good as book 1. I was very conflicted on how I felt of this one though, so I obviously won't go too much into it because it is a continuation. It literally starts off where book 1 ended, but it is a why choose. So we have 3 MMCs. So we have Noah, Mercer and Titus. So we have our Noah, our bee daddy, who is Mercer's best friend, who is the professor, and then we have Titus, who is the childhood love, and then we have our FMC Sawyer, who I absolutely adore. And I just felt so bad for Noah and Mercer because they are clearly so obsessed with Sawyer, and there's just so much going on that with Titus and everything that it is just, oh, it is a whirlwind. Like, you will love these characters and hate some of them at the same time and just feel so conflicted. If you love a book with possessive men, professor student, a why choose, childhood love, literally it's got everything mixed in one, and the spice is delicious. And I've said that like so many times in this video, but it is so good, guys. Then we have Brutal Little Secrets by C.S. Berry. This is another arc, and this is also book 2, which is a continuation of book 1. Again, it only came out yesterday, so I will be buying the trophy when this comes out. This one I feel like was a 3.75/4 star. I'm still undecided, but book 1 for me was a 5 star, and I feel like book 2, although I loved it, just didn't hit the same. This is a why choose, bully romance, stepbrother, dark academia, all of those mixed in one. So if you love that, this is definitely for you. Personally, me, I love a stepbrother, I love a why choose, and I love a bully romance. So Evan Han, the FMC, suddenly has a stalker in this book, and we are left wondering who it is. It's sort of like a mystery unraveling, and it was originally meant to be a duet, but now it's a trilogy because of how much the story has unraveled. And not gonna lie, I felt so sorry for Evan in this book. Her poor body, her poor nether regions, back regions and mouth literally went through the bloody ringer in this book. Like, I don't know how she fit that in. I think, although, you know, I love a smarty book, right, and a smart scene, but I feel like maybe this didn't hit because I wasn't in the mood for that. I feel like it was a bit too much for me at this present time, so I think that's why it didn't hit as good as book 1. Then we had Power by Kathy Lockhart. This was actually a DNF, guys. I couldn't get into the characters. I did try and read book 1 of the Internet Connected series a while back, and it was a DNF because I just couldn't connect with the characters, and I felt a little bit bored, and unfortunately again the same thing happened. Then we had Never Lie by Freida McFadden, which was actually my book club pick of the month, so it was a thriller, and it was nice to have something different to go into. So this is another book that goes back to flashbacks and also present time as well. So this couple is going into buying a new house, and they basically get abandoned there because there's like a massive snowstorm and secrets are just unraveling. It turns out the previous owner who went missing was a psychiatrist, and nobody really knows what happened. She was like a best-selling author, and she just suddenly went missing and nobody knows what happened. And as you're going on, you're getting more and more of the story, but also everything is not as it seems. There's so many plot twists, which I did not see come in, and the plot twists just kept literally happening. It was like plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, and I was really, really enjoying it. I was just questioning everything, and I rated this a 4 star, guys. Like, it was insane, and it was a nice change of pace too, from like romance and fantasy. Then we went back to our fantasy with The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. So this is the second book in the Gods and Monsters series, and it basically continues where book 1 left us broken. I was literally sobbing for the last hour of my Kindle reading time because I did this on Kindle, and I don't think I'm over it yet. I think that's why I haven't gone into book 3 yet. I will say, like, obviously I read a few books in between. I did really struggle to get back into it. Like the first 10%, I was really, really struggling to get back into the world and like enjoying it, but after that I was literally immersed. But because it was like a longer book, it did take me a little bit to get through. I think it did take me like a week, but I did have plans to. And it's very much giving feminine rage. If you love a feminine rage session, Diana is basically in her villain era, and she could not be more morally grey if she tried. Then we did The Gemini Games by Willa Hollis, which is another arc, and this was actually 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this. It's quite a short one. I think it's only like 350 pages or something like that, and it is a fantasy type thing. So we have these different worlds, and they are all, everyone's hair colour is based off of their star sign basically, and these star systems give power to the cosmos, however you want to say it. And basically the Gemini star sign is sort of like fading almost. So at random, these people get picked and taken to participate in the Gemini games. Our FMC Zelly gets taken to perform in these games, and they do not have a choice, and they have to perform in these games. They have like an advisor kind of helping them. So if you love like a fantasy with trials and stuff, this is definitely one for you. The only thing is, so the games themselves are very unique and very interesting. I would have liked the book to be a little bit longer so that we could actually get a little bit more of those games. And although I loved the relationships, they felt very fast paced. Like they developed very quickly. The romance developed very quickly. The ending had me breaking, you know, so it's giving sort of like major Hunger Games vibes, but sprinkle a little bit of spice and make it celestial. That's like the vibes we're going for. So if you like that, you probably will really enjoy this, but it is a little bit fast paced, to be warned. Then we had another arc, Calyx, by Bethany Lauren. This was a 3-star. This was like a novella. I think it was only like 170 pages or something like that. And if you love an obsessive man, then Calyx is definitely for you. He is so possessive, but also the cutest. Like the way he looks after Lainey is so cute, but he's also like low-key psycho too. So basically Calyx sees Lainey one day and he instantly becomes obsessed with her, and that is the whole thing. Like he literally follows her everywhere. The only thing about this is I wish it was longer so that we could have those relationships develop a lot more, because it just felt very like insta-lovey. I know it's like a novella, so they have to like fit it in, but sometimes it just feels that little bit forced because it's almost like instant. Then we read Betrayed in the Dark by Ashley Elizabeth, and this is a mafia romance. I definitely didn't know what to expect going into this. I had no expectations at all. I rate this 4 stars. It's a best friend's brother mafia romance, and I'm definitely going to be going back to the first one because they're interconnected to read that, and definitely going to be continuing the series as well. It was so heartbreaking but so cute at the same time. So we have our main characters, who is like a second chance romance. So we go back in time and basically something happened between them which you don't really understand what has happened and what is going on, but she sort of hates him. He has come back and being her bodyguard, and he doesn't really know what's going on. So he's trying to figure it out while she is engaged to another man. Yeah, I said that right. And it is just possessive vibes, touch her and die vibes. You've got the mafia romance. The FMC is like very strong in herself, and it is just, it was so good. It was so unexpectedly good. And then finally we had another DNF. So this is The Lacrimosa by LK Reid. This is a stepbrother romance, and I couldn't get into it. I think I did about 10%, and I really couldn't connect with the characters. Like I just didn't like the way that they were, so unfortunately I had to put it down. I think I read, not including DNFs, I think I read 15 books this month. Tia, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's pretty good. Like some months I get a lot more, some I don't. We had a few long ones and also a few short ones this month as well, so I feel like it was a good mixture, and I cannot wait to see what we're reading in November. Like I said, I've obviously got 2 books on the go, but I have a good option to pick from for my TBR for November. So I feel like, because I'm a mood reader, I feel like I do have a bit of variety, and I can probably get through my not the whole thing, but I can probably get through a little bit more of my TBR this month rather than just the one book. But thank you guys so much for watching. What of these books have you read? Are any of these 5-star? Any that you didn't like that I absolutely loved? Because I love hearing opposite opinions. And what should I read next, guys? And did any of these tickle your fancy? Are you going to be picking any of these up? I know one of my subscribers is reading Almost Ravished at the moment, so hopefully they love it and they can read Almost Rotten, which obviously I read this month, because it was amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked this video, and I will see you guys next time.